I like a foamy flower. I love it. And I'm going to hold it way back here because it's really grody. That's disgusting. It's time to empty out my empties bin. Hi everyone, welcome back. It's Melissa. Today I'm going to be doing an empties video. There's also going to be a little section of a couple of things that I've decided just aren't working for me, and I'm going to pitch them. And then I have a handful of things that I've already used up in my project pan, using up the bitter end of products. And so I'm going to go ahead and share those with you as well. So it is going to be a couple of different things. So I'm going to start off with some shampoo and conditioner. These are from the brand OGX, which I think used to be known as Organics. So I picked these up. They are lavender-based shampoo and conditioner, and they're for, you know, platinum color hair, somewhat of a color correcting, kind of keep brassiness and yellowness away. And I thought, you know, I'm always looking for something that's going to help my hair coloring not to turn brassy, because sometimes it gets real brassy, and that's not a pretty look. So I was experimenting with this, and how do I feel about this? Well, first of all, the smell is okay. It didn't knock my socks off. But more importantly, like, the shampoo was so thick, it was almost like a jelly. So Kate was actually using my shower during the time I had this active. She's like, "Mom, I think your shampoo froze." And I'm like, "No, dear, it's just a really weird consistency." Now, towards the end, I added a little water to it, shook it up, and then it became like a normal shampoo, but it was weird. It was a weird consistency. You know, the conditioner was fine. I didn't love these. I will definitely not be repurchasing them. I'm sure there are other, like, color correcting shampoos and conditioners out there that do a better job. If you have a recommendation, I would love it. But these were really, they just didn't do it for me. So I did use them up. They're fine. That's about all I can say about that. Let's talk about this. Next up, I used this Living Proof Restore Mask Treatment. This was a deluxe sample that I've had kicking around, and I thought, just put it in the shower and use it up. And for the price tag that I'm sure a full-size one of these costs, I wasn't blown away by it. I don't think it really did anything in terms of, you know, making my hair super shiny, super soft, less dry feeling. And I just thought that the smell was just a little weird. And I'm just not a super big fan of this, like, scoop it out and put it in your hair thing. I'd much rather have it in a bottle and squeeze it out and put it in my hair. That's just me. But I'm sure I wanted to try this because this brand has quite a cult following, I think, especially since, what's her name? Yeah, can't remember her name. It's not going to come to me. You know who I mean. I actually think there are some great hair products that you can buy at the drugstore that you don't have to spend this kind of money on your hair. One more thing that was in my shower, and I'm going to hold it way back here because it's really grody. It's the Neutrogena Ultra Gentle Daily Cleanser. I bought this on accident. This is the foaming formula. They have a creamy formula that I really enjoy, and this is foamy. I don't enjoy it as much. It took me a really long time to get through this. You know, if you like a foamy formula, you'll probably like this. But I like a creamy cleanser. But this is a good value because it's in a big bottle and it's available almost everywhere. A couple little skincare items. I used up another one of these Paula Choice Resist Optimal Hydrating Cleanser. This is a creamy cleanser. I love it. Did I say I love it? I love it. I love it. I try not to ever be without this. When I'm opening up a new bottle, if I don't have a backup, I go ahead and order a backup. I also use this mask from K-Bella. It's the Anti-Aging Goji Berry Mask. These are really great little masks that are available. I see them in Target. They might be in Ulta too, but I usually look for them in Target when I want to buy them. I actually got 2 different mask days out of this. There's a lot of product in here, so it's, you know, enough to share with a friend, to have a mask party, or just fold it over and kind of seal it, and you can use it again later on in the week or the following week. So these are a great value. It did a really nice job. I wouldn't say it did anything remarkable, but it did a nice job. It's kind of like a clay-based mask. For the money you spend on them, they're a couple bucks in Target. They're a good value. Personally, I am looking for something that's going to do a little bit more for my skin, more of like a treatment mask, and I'm trying to pull together a video on that to share some of my favorite treatment type mask products with you. So I'm not sure when I'm going to get around to that because I'm still working on it, but that's my mindset right now with masks. And then I also used up the Pixi Lash Nourish Makeup Remover Pads. They come in a little jar like this. They're just pre-moistened little eye makeup remover pads, and they're very refreshing because they're not like oily. They're very clean. They leave you feeling very clean. I think they do a fine job removing residual makeup after you've washed your face. To take off makeup before you wash your face, you're going to use quite a few of them because actually I really feel like they're not, they could be a little wetter. And while I like them, I always stored them upside down because I always felt like the top ones were never wet enough, and tried to keep as much of the liquid product in contact with all those pads as I possibly could. A little tip for you if you decide to get it. I like it. Do I think it is nourishing to my lashes? Don't know. Honestly, didn't see any difference. But I like them because they are very refreshing to use. And there's one face cleanser product in particular that I have used that is mildly irritating to my eyes, and if I finish off with these, it wipes that residue away and it doesn't bother my eyes as much. You'll be hearing about that soon. But this is like the second jar I've had from them, and I'll probably buy another one because I like to have a little something hanging around. Right now I'm using up some of my cellar water, so that's the plan. All right, the last thing that's in my use up pile is this cartridge BB Cream Cushion Foundation from Laneige, and I recently opened up the fresh one. This one was pretty dried out. This particular foundation comes with a refill, and I'm using the refill now. So how do I feel about this foundation? Well, first of all, I feel like cushion foundations aren't always the best value. I think they're pricey. I don't think they last that long in terms of how much product is in here. I think they're probably convenient, to carry in your handbag for a quick touch-up, or traveling. But for day-to-day use, I would prefer to use a foundation that's in a bottle or in a stick or something other than a cushion. I thought it was fine. I would not repurchase this. I'm just not a huge fan of cushion foundations. Okay, here are a couple things that I am pitching from my collection because they just do not work for me. And the first one is this Sonia Kashuk Dissolve Gel to Oil Makeup Removing Cleanser. It has a very mild scent. It's like a gel formula. You rub it on your skin, you add a little bit of water, and it kind of emulsifies into a oil cleanser. And I just didn't like this. I felt like I didn't really feel like it did a great job. I never reached for it. I used it a handful of times. I thought it would be a cool thing to have, to alternate when I don't want to use a creamy cleanser, or I have a lot of makeup on and I really want to dissolve it and knock it down. I also don't think it left my skin feeling terribly hydrated. I feel like it kind of left it a little bit dry, and I think it irritated my eyes a little bit. It was just okay. I can't get excited about it. I really don't want to use it anymore, and I have decided to pitch it. The other thing I have here is an eye primer from Kat Von D. It's the high voltage eye primer. It's a prime and correct formula. This is pretty old. I bought it because I thought it would be kind of cool to be able to do like a little color correcting on my lids. It is super thick. I really don't care for the color of it. So if I have an eyeshadow that I want to do a little color correcting, I'm going to pick something like the Long Wearing Cream eyeshadow base from Bobbi Brown, or an eyeshadow stick that's in like a neutral nude color, and use that instead. This is just so orangey, so thick, and I'm not even sure they sell this anymore, so not a big loss. You have to clean out your stash at some point in time. So it's not even on her website anymore. I'm pretty sure it's been discontinued, probably because it was a pretty awful product. Goodbye. All right, let's jump into some of my little project panners, things that I knew I would use up really quickly because I was at the bitter end. I'm pretty excited about these. I have used up 4, almost 5. My 5th product, I think I have 1 more application in, so I'm going to leave that for next time. But here we go. So the first thing I used up was the Hydra-Light, the Nexxus Hydra-Light weightless root lift mist. I loved this. Sadly, it's been discontinued. Oh well. The next thing I used up was this triple sec 3-in-1 spray from Drybar. This was just a little sample size, and there was really only 1 more application in there. I think this is a really pretty unique product because it does multiple things, and you know, I like things that are multiples. Texturizes, amplifies, and refreshes. So this I think was a really cool product. I would buy this again. You know, it's by Drybar. You know it's going to be a high quality product. It's great. I loved using it, and I'm glad I used it up, gotten every little last bit out of it, and I would definitely consider repurchasing this, primarily because it has that does multiple things. So I used up one of the Rimmel lip liners, the one in 07 Enchantment. I actually think I used up another one, and I'm afraid I may have already thrown it out. It's awesome. It's like a mauvey pink. I would absolutely buy this again. In fact, I almost just repurchased it, and I'm like, nope. You need to take a step back and use up some of your other lip liners before you buy any new ones. But this is definitely one of my favorites that I'll want to have in my makeup collection in the future. I love those little Rimmel lip liners. All right, so the last thing I used up was the Milani Prep Set and Go powder. It is all gone. You know, it was like a ring around here. It was really hard to use. I ended up scraping it loose, mixing it with a few drops of alcohol and pressing it in the center. And oh my God, why have I never done that before? It's super easy, and it just makes that product so much more usable. If you haven't tried it, you should absolutely try it. Mind was blown, and I would absolutely do that when I get to the tail end of a powder product that's pressed in a pan like this, because it just makes your life so much easier. So in terms of this product, it was fine from the drugstore. It did get like a little, not flaky, but like little bits. I can't really even hardly describe it. It sometimes would lift little balls of it up, and I don't know. It's so hard to describe. I don't think I would repurchase this. There's really nothing terribly wrong with it. I just felt it was like a little flaky or clumpy, or I can't think of the right word. But obviously, you know, I went through it pretty quickly. It did a fine job. And, you know, if this is your only choice that you can find at the drugstore, sure, it does the job. But I honestly don't think I would repurchase. I think there are other powders at the drugstore that I would like a little bit better. That wraps it up. So if you're doing a project pan, I hope you're doing well. I hope you're using up products. I'm going to insert a total dollar amount of how much product I've used up. So this is my second Empties video for the year. So I want to kind of keep track this year and see how much dollar-wise product have I used during the year. I think that would just be kind of interesting. So I'll include that when I edit this video. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I look forward to seeing you real soon in my next video. Take care. Bye.